So this is the video I was telling you about where it dawned on me. I was duped, bamboozled, hoodwinked. I'm being cute, but you know what I'm trying to say. All right. The whole time I'm thinking to myself when I hear about the sorry about that loud noise. When I'm thinking about to myself when I hear about what was it called? There's two Ethiopias. I'm thinking the second Ethiopia is obvious. It's the one in Africa today, right? And the other Ethiopia is in India. Wrong. Okay, that's wrong. This is going to tie into one of the original videos I did when I was encouraged to do a YouTube channel by especially Lex Will. You know, he kept telling me, hey, do your own videos. So this is one of the things that it blew my mind that I even remembered, you know, that I did a video on this because it's been that long. And the original video that I'm going to show you at the end, I can't find it. So I know there are going to be some that are going to say, hey, can you send me the original video? I can't. I've tried because other people have asked. And it was like right after I used that video, the man's channel was taken down, or I've been blocked from the channel, so I can't find him anymore. I don't know which one it is. But that this is going to lead, like I said, to this original video, and it's going to show, no, the second Ethiopia is not in Africa. Because if you read the location that's given, that second Ethiopia does not fit that criteria for being in the right location. But I'm going to show you where the right location is. Okay? So bear with me.
All of this comes from Buddhism. So if you really want to learn about the Western mystics or the culture or where things come from, you have to also include Africa. Africa is the beginning of all humanity. So how can you begin to talk about a world history and a world culture and you leave out?
I'll have to disagree with him on that. I know you can get fanciful and say, oh, Africa is a part of Asia, but I tend to believe Asia is the birthplace of humanity. I mean, they call it the cradle. So how did Africa go from being the birth and the cradle is somehow over here in Asia, though? You know, and I know you can get all technical. Well, Africa is not separate from, it's not separate from the Middle East, and the Middle East is, you know, technically it is Asia, and it's not separated from them by any rivers or anything like that. It's all one large continent. So I get that point, but you know what they're saying when they say Africa is the birthplace. They mean, you know, everything came from there, but yet we have the term Asian, right? Which we know that's fanciful, you know, that's a fairy tale at best. And then we have Caucasian, and we have the Asiatics. We don't have all three of those for Africans, you know, none of that. So I reject that. So, but that's him pushing the Pan-African, you know, narrative, you know.
Where all humans come from. Now, in the Anaclipsis on page 458, Higgins writes, quote, the most vulnerable immigrants from India were the Yadavas. They were the blameless and pious Ethiopians whom Homer mentions and calls the remotest of mankind. Part of them, say the old Hindu writers, remain in this country, and hence we read of two Ethiopian nations, the Western and the Oriental. Some of them live far to the east, and they are the Yadavas who stayed in India, while the others resided far to the west. And they, the sacred race who settled on the shores of the Atlantic.
Boom, right there, right there. They settled in the far west on the sacred shores of the Atlantis. Okay. Now, how do I do this? We're gonna pause this, and I want to pull up a map. Okay. So if Godfrey Higgins and Plato are to be believed, right? Here you have India. Okay. Here you have Ethiopia. You're saying they left India and settled here No, no, wait. He said they settled on the western shores of the Atlantis, right? Right? The far west to the left, western shores. I don't see Ethiopia over here. No, 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 I don't see it. So this can't be the Ethiopia they're talking about because look what ocean it's next to, right? First, it's near the Gulf here, but it's near the, what is this called here? Can I straighten out? Yeah, it's near. This is near the Indian Ocean, so it's not near the Atlantic. Okay. Okay. So this is not the right location because the Ethiopians do not have a story like this. The people of the Sudan, where they're having to be chased out of their original settlements in Africa, right, and being forced to settle in, you know, the place now we call Sudan, right? They don't have the stories of being like the Lost Boys and stuff like that, right? Right. So this is not the Ethiopia that they're talking about. It's not the blameless Ethiopians he's talking about. All right, you know, the Yasharites that we you know, the upright, those people. No, this doesn't meet the criteria. They don't have a story of like the Ethiopians here. They don't have the story of being dropped off here in Central Africa like the Bantu people do, and them just spreading out all over the place, you know, to the south and to the north. They don't have that. So my light bulb in my head went off and it hit me. This goes back to this old video I did years ago. Okay? What he's explaining is that when they went to the shores, what is it, how do you say it? We'll pull up the video. There it is. How did it go? The Ethiopian nation, the Western and Oriental, some of them lived far to the east, and that's where you have like in the Philippines, right? Where the Philippines, they have the what's it called, the Orientalians, and I forget the other ones. But those, like, they have the Afro people. They're split into two. One's Orientals, and the other ones I forget. It starts at the end, but I just don't want to butcher it. They far to the east, and they are the Yadavas. Those are the people that went to the east or stayed in the east there, right? Who stayed in. So there's almost like it's three, right? You have ones that went to the east and broke away. You have the Yadavas who stayed in India, while others resided far to the west. See, I didn't catch that before. They could read that. Pause this and read this. It's almost as if they're saying they split into three, right? Or of these peoples. The Yadavas stayed in India. The other ones went to the far east. Okay, and then those are your Orientalians, right? And then the last group went to the far west and are on the, what does it say? They went to the far west, while others reside far to the west, and they, the sacred race who settled on the shores of the Atlantic. And this is what I'm getting at. India or Ethiopia is not on the Atlantic, so X out the Ethiopia and Africa, X out Africa. I'll show you where they settled.
Tell us a little bit about this stone before we...
Okay, so this is the video I did years ago, and I cannot find the original. So if you guys can see, if you could find the original by looking up the title of this video, maybe it's me, maybe my channel's been blocked, I don't know, but I just can't find the original, right? And this guy had a bunch of other videos that were on there that were old, that were interesting, you know, after you get past the UFO stuff. But anyways, so he's going to tell you they took this stone and had it tested, and this is the writing on it, supposed to be old Gaelic writing, right? But listen to what the others that are there recording and documenting this say when they get a look at this, the writings. Watch.
Show them the stone here.
Well, this stone was traced and sent to Dr. Sale by
Speak up, man.
Payne from Rio. and he translated this, and it's in the Gaelic tongue, written in Ogham.
Gaelic tongue in Ogham.
Yeah. And according to his article,
Now I'm thinking about that too. It's in a Gaelic tongue, and it's in Ogham, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, and I could be, but wasn't that what Lex Will said? He found out that was the language that they spoke to the Bigfoots in Canada, in a Gaelic, Old Irish, you know. LeBron James.
America, B.C., he quotes Lord Kenneth Clark. And he says the monks of Ireland in the Dark Ages were the repository of learning while Europe lay shattered by the barbarian invaders. And in their stone cells...
So, translation, the last remnant of the melanated people of Ireland, right, in their religious writings, are what they're using to base this writing off of, because the barbarians came in and took over this place. All right.
Remote island hermitages. These devoted servants of God somehow continue to keep the oil burning in the very few fragile lamps that survived the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. For 4 centuries, they alone preserved the learning of the ancients. So we are indeed in a very sacred spot. Here was a man who was a Christian, and he was a learned man, and in a world of darkness where knowledge and understanding had almost disappeared, they were the recipients and guardians of truth.
Well, that's fantastic. It would remind us of, like, we know we had the priest in Loudoun County, Tennessee, which isn't that almost due south of here? It seems you told me that way once, yes.
Yeah.
So you appreciate the sound you hear in our background. I'm going to have the camera do a little pan, and you're just fine right there. You'll see where that sound's coming from. I want you to appreciate the setting this priest had, and this is a natural shelter behind us, and he had a rock wall built up around this precious stone that we're about to show you here. Jim, it's real good to be back in Kentucky. Thank you for having us.
We are to have you here.
Well, thank you very much.
Kentucky, 93% Caucasian population, the largest state when it comes to growing marijuana. I know, it shocked me. I thought Florida, Texas, California, Washington State would have had them beat, but no, Kentucky. And it's an overwhelming 95% Republican state. Fun facts. Look at these, right? Look at this. This is what they're going to point to. This is why I wanted to do this. They're going to point to that. You ready for this? See that? Look at that.
Oh, yes.
I'm pretty sure, Doc.
What you up to high that it'd be hard to
Now, right
see.
here is this insignia representing the centurion.
Oh, yes.
I'm pretty sure Dr. Fell would say that's what that is.
Bell worship.
And there's our Greek.
Yeah. And this is Iberian inscription that he has translated.
Iberian.
Here.
Okay.
Now, whenever the sun shone in here on the solstice,
That's what it was. I was trying to remember what was that the trace reason I had It was the Iberian Peninsula. Oh man, I don't know why, but I couldn't remember that for the life of me the other day when I was talking to my sons. I was trying to, I just couldn't remember the Iberian Peninsula. Yeah, that's.
It hit this line right here.
Well,
And this,
lines are there.
well, there's some deep grooves here, but there's only this one line here.
Usually those grooves are so they can tell about how long it is until the soap.
Is that right?
Where it hits on it, see?
And this here,
It's like a calendar.
and I'm satisfied this is an inscription right here. It looks like 1939, but I don't believe that's what it
A lot of
is.
times you'll find a sun symbol right near those marks because that's just like a calendar to them. They can look in there and see where that sun is on each one of those grooves and tell you about how many days it is till it's going to hit center.
Now in the morning, it's 22nd December. We were in the back, as far back as we could get, and right in the middle, as much as we could get in the middle, and the sun, when it came up, was right in the center, okay? Perfect alignment.
So it's a winter solstice sign.
Yeah.
Shortest day of the year.
Now I've got a tracing of that one that I gave you. And the other one is just on in there, right above your hand at the top. Right there, right above your hand.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, right here.
Insco?
Boy, that is awesome. Awesome.
The anticipation.
Yeah, this is what Robert Powell and his wife both identified as the cult of the head, or the cult of the severed head. It's supposed to be a Celtic symbol. He said originated in France. And this represents the muscles.
And don't forget, who are the original people of France? That's right. Court approved it in 2014. Those people they call French are not the original people of France.
The neck, the jugular vein, a headless symbol. And these are some of the smaller inscriptions here. That's either Iberian or maybe South Semitic.
There it is.
South Semitic. Did you hear that? Oh, I don't want to be like Will with Dick.
Wait, but think about this, right? We now know that the. Oh, he said Siberian. What did he say? Siberian? Let me.
But I'm gonna do it.
South Semitic.
South Semitic.
Smaller, a headless symbol. And these are some of the smaller inscriptions here. That's either Iberian or maybe.
Yeah, we now know. We know. No, we know who the original Iberian people were. Oh, okay. Okay. We know that they were Shemitic.
South Semitic.
South Semitic. Did you hear that? Oh, I don't want to be like Will with Dick, but I'm gonna do it.
Here. That's either Iberian or maybe South Semitic. Right, here's one of them.
Just say I want to do that one more time.
South Semitic.
And right along in here, this one. And there's two of them right here. And one over here. They look a lot like South Semitic.
Say it. South Semitic. Say it. Come on, say it.
Or old Ethiopian.
Do you hear the guy? He's like, I bet he's right. Oh, that's so good. You gotta hear it one more time. Listen close. Listen. Real close. Hold on. Wait. I bet he's right.
And along in here. And this one. And there's two of them right here. And one over here. They look a lot like South Semitic or old
He's right.
Ethiopian.
He said, I bet he's right. Well, all right. Well, you can watch this whole video.